everyone, welcome to Xinhua Live. I'm Miranda Gao with Xinhua News Agency. Now I'm standing at the platform of Beijing South Railway Station. Beside me is a high-speed rail train bounding for Tianjin, a port city neighboring Beijing. The Beijing-Tianjin high-speed railway was launched on August 1st, 2008. And today marks the exact 10-year anniversary of the railway inauguration. Over the past decade, China's high-speed railway has achieved tremendous progress. And today, we'll get aboard one of the high-speed trains to speak with the railway staff and some of the travelers about development of China's high-speed train and how development has changed people's daily lives. And now there are a few minutes left until the train will start to Tianjin. Now joining us is a very special guest, a professor from Communication University of China, Professor David Feng. He is an internet celebrity in China and also a big fan of high-speed railway train. How are you?
Hello, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here on this very special day, the 10th anniversary of the intercity railway line from Beijing to Tianjin. I've got my tickets. Well, not for today's service,
the tickets!
But what happened 10 years ago was my first ever journey on the Chinese railways. And
let us see.
Oh, yes.
So this is the tickets 10 years ago.
Yes, 1st of August 2008.
So it's read the price is 69 RMB,
yes,
right?
69 RMB.
From Beijing South to Tianjin.
That's in first class, that's right. Yes.
So how's the price now?
The prices have gone, have changed a little bit. First class is now around 80 or so renminbi, but now we have an even better class of travel, business class, which to the uninitiated is surreal because it's one of those few seats where you just tap a button and your sofa becomes a bed within 30 seconds. I've tried that, it's amazing.
Okay, so the price has raised a little bit.
Certainly the price has, prices have gone up, they've gone down, but I think the quality of service has certainly improved. The new trains that we have now are an improvement over what we had over a few years back. We've got some more pitch between the seats, and now there's Wi-Fi, most importantly.
Okay, I think today is very special because it marks the 10-year anniversary of China's high-speed train, especially from Tianjin to Beijing.
Exactly.
So people said that this line is a representation of China's high-speed railway development. How to explain that?
It is certainly, it showcases what Chinese high-speed railway is all about, because many of the design elements, technologies that we use on this line became pretty much the blueprint for when we started doing longer lines, for example, from Wuhan to Guangzhou, from Zhengzhou to Xi'an, and from Beijing to Shanghai. So what you see on this line, including mega hubs at Beijing South and intermediate stations at Wuqing, you can see across the network.
Wow. So actually the network has expanded a lot in the last decade.
It has basically expanded by leaps and bounds. We now have a 5-digit figure for the total high-speed railway mileage. If we started with maybe 2 or 3 digits some years back.
And it is said that the railway in China has already expanded to, which is the longest railway network in the world.
It pretty much is as long as you want. I think, if I got the figures right, for every 3 miles of railway, high-speed railway, 2 miles are in China. So we have like about 66% or more of the entire national high-speed railway network across the entire planet.
So what do you think is the biggest difference that this line from Beijing to Tianjin has made in the past 10 years?
Well, first of all, it's taken a lot of cars off the roads because basically now it is so much more convenient to be on the train and to travel for half an hour than to just simply try driving for about 1 hour or so. Second of all, I think the most important thing is it's more ecologically friendly.
Absolutely, it's terrific. So what is your experience when you boarding the train? How do you feel like it?
I think my first experience when 10 years back when I boarded the train, someone told me that they were opening a new light rail service. Now, when I got on board the train, I thought, wait, this is light rail, this is high speed, because some of these seats we've seen in first class are not too different from that from a commercial airliner. So I think that was a huge, surprise that I did not expect would happen to me.
But what we call the high-speed train actually is because the speed. The speed is if it's more than 200, if it exceeds 200, that is called high-speed train, right?
That is right. I mean, especially in China, where over 200 kilometers per hour, especially over 250 kilometers per hour, or 157 miles per hour, that's certainly considered high. You're making a train connection.
Yeah,
and that I think is
we
crucial.
still save some minutes, right?
Every minute saved is a minute earned. I would think of it this way.
Exactly. Okay, now we will board to the train.
Okay.
Let's go. So this is heading to Tianjin.
Oh, sorry.
It's very hot and humid today in Beijing, right?
Yes,
but
it
when
is.
we come inside of the train, we feel the air conditioner is absolutely great.
Yes, I mean, I used to be in London for 2 years. It's basically like changing from the Central Line trains to the new Metropolitan Line trains. It is much more air-cooled,
Yeah.
much better, and a lot cooler as well.
Okay. Wow. It's so cozy.
It is nice. I mean, the new second-class seats, they are slightly, you've got more leg room between the trains. I think that certainly is a huge improvement.
Yeah, as we can see in front of the camera, we have left and right.
Yes.
And in the middle is the L, and we
Yes.
have the window seats and L seats.
Yes, exactly. There are 3 seats to your left-hand side and 2 seats to your right-hand side, and I think that carries just enough passengers and still makes people feel comfortable. Obviously, China is a huge country, so we need to carry more people around.
Okay, I see. So let's see. There are something details on the back of the seats. Here we can see this is the QR code.
The QR code, I think, basically is for railway services. So the left-hand side, the QR code on the left-hand side
Yeah.
is for the e-ticketing app, and on the right-hand
Okay.
side is the official railway ticketing WeChat public account.
Yes.
So there's
they can book tickets by phone and after they download the app, right?
Exactly, you get yourself an account, and the cut-off time for online booking has been reduced from 2 hours to 30 minutes. So basically, you can get a ticket, you can be at the ticket gate, and you can just go.
And let's see. Something changed here is the number of the seats.
Yes.
It's the blue lights.
Yes.
It's improved a lot.
LED lighting. Now, seating on those trains 10 years back were all numerals, but now they've included A, B, C, D,
Yeah.
and F. There is no E seats, by the way, for the uninitiated.
What I want to say, it's so advanced. It's like in the airplane.
It certainly is. It shows the airplane elements here. I think if you can see your seat's number much more clearly, then you're likely to move to your seat faster.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead. It's not so many passengers today.
Well, I mean, those trains in the early morning hours, especially much earlier on, we do have a fair bit more, but now it's during the more quieter parts. In fact, around the world it's pretty much the same. After 9 in the morning, there are slightly less customers.
Okay. So at the whole day, the passengers will choose their tickets and whatever they want, and they just need half an hour. They will arrive Tianjin.
Exactly.
Have you ever been to Tianjin?
Well, Tianjin, I've been there hundreds of times because in 2008, Tianjin was my only destination which we could reach on high speed.
Well, I think Tianjin and Beijing are very large cities in the northern China, right?
Yes, they are megalopolises, and they're both. So, are you okay? They're both centrally governed municipalities. So these two megacities do make a fair bit of a difference here in northern China.
Okay. So now we are heading to the head of the train. We'll see some stuff here. And let's turn around. So the train is about to start now. And we'll go ahead from the head of the train. I think the train will start in a minute, right?
Yes, we will be departing very soon. I think often we depart on the hour, in fact, so that's why train travel is so much more reliable than, say, by air.
Okay, so we can see at the front there are 2 TV on the wall. TVs.
Yes, we have personal entertainment systems in other classes, but mostly people watch either TV or they watch what they have on their personal mobile devices, which is much more the case.
Do you think we have signals on the train, on our cell phone?
The mobile coverage is very good, and I think also Wi-Fi is certainly available, something very new with the Revival Express.
Let me check. Here is a phone, and how many bars do you have?
I've got like about 4 bars.
Wow, I have 2 bars.
Yes.
Yeah, yours better.
4 bars.
Show to the
yes,
camera.
Yes, I've got 4 bars. I think that's certainly
yours better.
Yes, slightly better. 4 bars.
Okay, now my phone is 3 bars.
Yes, but we're still on the same network. It's still China Mobile.
Yeah, we are not in the same network. Okay, as we see, the train has already started to Tianjin. Look outside of the window. Today marks the 10-year anniversary of Beijing-Tianjin high-speed railway. And for everybody who just jumped in to our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube account, this is Xinhua News Agency, and we're doing a live streaming about China's high-speed railway. The line is Beijing to Tianjin. And joining us is Professor David Feng, and who is the professor of the Communication University of China.
Certainly, I mean, this line to me has been, a line that I've been on hundreds of times, if not I don't know, is it hundreds of times or close to 1,000? Because back in 2008, like I said, this was the only high-speed line, and high-speed was such a positive impact that I felt I had to be on the train, In fact, here's something. I've been on the Chinese railway trains for every month now, since 2008.
That much?
Yes, I think I have lost count of how many miles I've done. It must be a 5 or 6 figure digits, and I think it's going to be a lot.
Why do you so fond of the high-speed train?
It has a Swiss beginning because I used to basically travel by train across Switzerland, where I used to be based in since I was, age 6. So I was there for 12 years. In Switzerland, everyone takes a train, and so therefore I thought, well, let's take a look at the trains in China. The first few years were unconvincing. Then we had high speed, which began in 2008, and that did really take my breath away.
Okay, so how do you think of the Chinese bullet train compared with the one you're taking in Switzerland?
The ones in China are newer and they run much faster, that's to say the least. And I think they have high technology in use. I think connectivity also is a major improvement on the Chinese railways, because 10 years ago it was hard for me to get a mobile signal when the train was running at, say, 300 kilometers per hour faster. These years, though, it is much easier.
Okay, now we can see the train is heading to southeast, I think. When it's already departed from the China's Beijing South Railway Station and heading southeast to Tianjin. And for your background, the speed of Fuxing bullet train running the Beijing-Tianjin intercity railway will increase to 350 kilometers per hour starting on August 8th. And it's also marking the 10th anniversary of the Beijing-Tianjin line. For everybody who just joined us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, on Xinhua's account, we are doing a live streaming on the Beijing to Tianjin line. It's a high-speed train entirely designed and manufactured in China. The Fuxing, or rejuvenation, debuted on the Beijing-Shanghai line on June 26, 2017. The trains are more spacious, reliable, and energy efficient, and have a longer service life than previous models. So how is the speed today's train? Let me see. We can see that after the train just started, I think the speed is about 300 now. You think so?
We're heading slowly up to 200 and 300 because there's a part which we leave Beijing from the southeastern second ringway, and so now we're slowly getting up to close to 300 kilometers per hour. I think after we pass, if you look on the left-hand side of the train, there's a station that is unmarked, but it's actually Yizhuang Station, which has not yet opened to the general public. After we pass that station, we're going to pretty much hit maximum cruising speed. For the moment, 300 kilometers per hour.
As I know, the maximum speed of the trains increased to 350 kilometers per hour between Beijing and Shanghai in September 2017. Right,
Yeah,
cutting the journey between the Chinese capital and the country's major financial hub to 4 hours and 28 minutes. Amazing.
Precisely. I think that's significant because that shaves up 20 minutes from the previous faster service, which used to be 4 hours and 48 minutes. 20 minutes can mean a lot, especially if you're making a connection at Shanghai Hongqiao railway station, where approximately every 1 or 2 minutes there is a train movement. That's either an arrival or departure over one of its 30 platforms.
Okay. So for the passengers who is having a half an hour time on the train, are there any activities they can enjoy, like go to the canteen or a cafe?
There is a dining car, so I think we're between cars 6 and 7. So if you go to car 5, there's a mini bistro.
Let's go to car 5 to see the canteen and cafe. Okay, now let's see, we have arrived to the little cafe here. There's some coffee you can order. Just using this QR code, you can order the coffee here. And also, there are some drinks in the refrigerator. Because today is the 10 years anniversary of high-speed railway, Beijing to Tianjin line, so it's very crowded today. Now we can see we have a lot of passengers here on the train, and let us ask them some questions. Okay, hello, 你好，你好。你经常乘坐北京到天津的高铁吗？
经常乘坐。
Okay. So she is a frequent traveler between Beijing and Tianjin, and 你觉得这个高铁现在感觉怎么样？乘坐的？
还挺舒适的，而且挺方便的，比乘坐大巴呀、公交车呀方便很多，而且坐这个车也很舒适，节约了我们的出行时间。
She said the train save a lot of traveling time and it's very convenient and cozy. 那你觉得这个车票价格怎么样？
我觉得还挺合理的。你要是坐公交车的话，再倒公交车，其实和这个再倒地铁和这个价钱是差不多的。而且你到了，比如说我总是从武清到天津，然后你要是想去商业街购物呀，然后坐地铁也很方便。
She said that the ticket price is fair and it's better than to take the bus and the subway, and also because now the subway and the high-speed train are connected, so it's very convenient if she want to go shopping in Beijing and back home to Tianjin. Okay, as we know that the tickets from Beijing to Tianjin now from the class B is 54 RMB. That is about $7, yeah, about the price. So over the last decade, the Beijing-Tianjin intercity railway has already carried passenger about 250 million. That is to say, it has reduced 62.5 million cars. So it's a pretty energy saving. As the train started again heading to Tianjin, and our live streaming is about to end. So today's live streaming is all about to celebrate and commemorate the memory we have of the China's high-speed train, which is a really very impressive progress has made in the last decade, and boost the economy between cities and building connections. So that's all for today's live streaming, and thank you for watching.